frequently. And I gotta go through a series of questions. Have you been here? Do you do this? Do you do that? Because this part of the world is so unperfect, you can't get blood, even if you have stepped foot on this land. We don't want your blood. And when, another thing that happened when they bit this fruit, this apple, whatever theology you want to believe about the situation, the knowledge of good and evil, a separation between God's children and God happened. Right? I mean, perfect relationship. Think about perfect relationship. The bull who created everything is walking next to me. You know what I mean? With perfect relationship, we're talking. But when I disobeyed, we don't even get to see him no more. Right? We gotta, or in the Old Testament, they had to do religious things just to get a response. Because we're such an ugly view to somebody who's righteous and holy. And the relationship was breached. So let this be told that we constantly have to strive after a relationship with Jesus Christ. I'm going to go on with the story a little later, but it's in the relationship. And nobody's perfect. You're not a good person. Don't die thinking you're a good person and that's going to get you in. Because you're going to be a good person in hell. That's real rap. I don't know who I'm talking to. It's evangelistic right now, but the fact of the matter is this. Yes, compared to some things out there, and some people out there, yeah, you probably are good. But to somebody who's holy, righteous, and blameless, you're dirt. Mm-hmm. On your best day, you're a dirty tampon. That's what the book says. For your righteousness is as a filthy rags. That's not a dirty rag you wipe the table with. That's the yeah. God, I'm trying to be nice up in this piece. Mm-hmm. Right? On your best day, you a woman's worst day. Think about it. I'm just trying to be real. I want you to understand that nobody can walk up to the gates like, yo, let me in, where's my throne? You will never get in. So you got to have a relationship with Jesus Christ and not even a religion. Check. Too many Christians' addictions is the benediction. But no one is given that life with those afflictions that separate those who are always talking it and who really can live it. So that's why my poetry is always filled with conviction. Because Christ is looking for soldiers and not chickens. Those that listen, those that know their spiritual gifts and play their position, not those that get pissed when somebody else get recognition. Not those that get their riches and all that you start become distant, not those Christians who only on Christmas know the spirit of giving and forgiveness. But don't get it twisted, I'm not casting the first stone. In fact, you should never see a rock in my hand. It's just on a rock that I stand, and I'm far from perfect and not bougie at all. I just got a passion for Christ, and ain't no movie involved. And it's different with those who struggle than those who truly indulge in acts which cause your walk to be a crawl. And you can't be on your knees if you're supposed to be carrying a cross. No, I'm appalled from the excuses and the comments that are smart on how the Bible applies to your life when Christ knows your heart. That's blasphemous. As for it, your heart that is, when he knows that he only owns half of it. I think it was the 7th chapter of Matthew that said, just because you call me Lord, Lord, these gates don't necessarily mean you're going to pass through it. And if faith without works is dead, then what is works without faith? Let me give you a taste. It looks like a man who knows all about the Bible, but don't know Jesus. That doesn't make you intelligent. And all that sexual sensation except for penetration, that doesn't make you celibate. And these cafes, just Christian hangouts instead of fellowship, it's just too many Christians think they're going to heaven just for the hell of it. But then they have the nerve to argue like it's relevant. Like when you see God, you gotta let me in. I know the words of purpose, MSG, and TWAS. But you don't put on your whole armor. You never got the message, and this is the end times. But I paid time, but you never spent time. And religion without spent time can make a hurt person and put a church person in the same place of hell as Islam. And good people who could lead you to believe that death is a way of life, where life is a way of death, because in order to live every day, you gotta die to your flesh. But I ain't saying that you gotta be perfect, just gotta try it with your best effort. Because we all feel as though we deliver it until God applies pressure, then the God of lies supplies and provides pleasure, then we're going to see how far your religious acts measure. It's in the relationship. Because being in love with Jesus can make it 10 times easier to flee from relations and have patience when you tell you that joy comes in the morning, even though the sun is moving in slow motion, like we living in the Matrix. Still, faith is not believing that he can, but knowing that he will. Now, I hate the fact that other Christians dislike me, but not knowing how I feel. How I can praise or pass out just by knowing that he's real. And God, don't ever let me get too mature and I no longer have my zeal. So keep me as a baby so I can follow your will by any means necessary, no ifs, ands, or maybes. Or I need some other kids to play here. It's like you're going through a phase. Too often I've been told I had to stay upstairs because ain't nobody down here of my age. Woo! God, turn your church into a daycare. Because there's far too many of us acting too old by trying to take life in our own hands, doing something our arms can't hold. Then we claim that we love you, but can't keep a command, then can understand why our knees will buckle, and how we gonna handle Thomas and some of us in here need to touch you. As if your words are not enough to keep us out of trouble. And saints, how do you expect to defeat the devil when you've been saved for years and your faith is still at mustard seed level? Amen.
Amen.
Woo!